Mystery illness cracked. Doctors have long been stumped by a polio-like illness that's been causing paralysis in kids, but now that mystery may have finally been solved. Acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM, is a rare condition that causes inflammation in the spinal cord. Symptoms include facial and eyelid drooping, difficulty swallowing, muscle weakness, and paralysis. The U.S. had an outbreak of the disease in 2014 with 120 confirmed cases, and then again in 2016 with 149 people infected. Though tests of their spinal fluid yielded nothing, patients with AFM tested positive for a respiratory virus known as enterovirus D68. Repeated experiments on infected mice showed that EV-D68 killed nerve cells in the spinal cord, which resulted in partial paralysis. While the findings are significant and could help doctors figure out how to control the disease, many unanswered questions remain. Direct evidence from infected human tissue is needed to officially confirm the link between the disease and the virus. Until such time, health officials are hoping there won't be another resurgence of the crippling illness. Keep watching for more mysterious diseases.
Zombie deer disease in humans? A mysterious neurological disease is laying waste to North American deer, and scientists are worried that humans might be next. Since its discovery in 1967, chronic wasting disease has infected deer populations in 24 U.S. states and Canada, and has also been found in South Korea and Norway. Chronic wasting disease is caused by prions, deformed proteins which accumulate in certain organs. Infected deer can live 2 years before symptoms like weight loss, thick saliva, and behavioral changes manifest. The disease is contagious and typically spreads via the saliva and feces of diseased deer, which can contaminate the environment and infect other animals. Prion diseases are typically limited to certain species, but may evolve to overcome the interspecies barrier and infect new hosts. Mad cow disease is one example, with humans contracting the disease from eating cows that have been infected by prions from sheep. While no humans have been infected by CWD, monkeys in a recent study reportedly contracted the disease after ingesting infected deer meat. Public health officials continue to monitor for any sign of brain-wasting diseases in humans. They have also warned hunters not to consume deer meat without getting it tested, regardless of how healthy the animal looks.
Third world parasite on the rise in U.S. South. It may be a disease that is typically associated with developing nations, but a new study has found that parasitic hookworms are plaguing the southern U.S. 34.5% of stool samples taken from Alabama's Loudoun County tested positive for a species of hookworm called Necator americanus. Households in the county are reportedly poor and lack basic sanitation, with waste often discarded in the backyard. Residents exposed to the raw sewage may become infected with hookworm, which enters the human body through the feet. The parasitic worm attaches itself to the walls of the small intestine, sucking the host's blood, which in turn causes anemia, weight loss, impaired mental function, and stunted growth in children. The disease is a problem even for those who can afford to install their own septic tanks. Sewage problems run rampant in Alabama's Black Belt region. The area's loamy soil prevents water from draining into the ground, and heavy rains often cause septic systems to overflow or back up. Parasitic infections like hookworm are treatable with medication, but unless sanitation conditions improve, people will simply become reinfected with the disease. Study reveals there is no question football is related to brain disease. Recent research found that 99% of professional NFL football players included in the study were suffering from a brain disease known as chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy is a neurodegenerative brain disease, typically found in people who have suffered repeated hits to the head. The repeated blows shake the brain and cause the buildup of tau proteins, which hold together microtubules in the brain cell's transport system. Tau protein buildup can gradually disable neural pathways and can cause memory loss, dementia, and ultimately kill brain cells over time. 99% of NFL players included in the study were diagnosed with CTE, while 91% of college football players had the same disease. The NFL acknowledged the connection between CTE and football for the first time in 2016. In 2015, a federal judge approved a $1 billion settlement between the NFL and thousands of former players in a brain damage class action lawsuit.
Mysterious Elizabeth Kingia bacteria claims 20 lives. A mysterious bacteria known as Elizabeth Kingia has killed 20 people in the Midwest in the United States. The Elizabeth Kingia bacteria can be found in soil, river, and reservoirs worldwide. It can cause meningitis in newborn babies and meningitis or bloodstream and respiratory infections in people, typically older, with compromised immune systems. Symptoms of the Elizabeth Kingia infection may include fever, chills, headache and neck pain, as well as skin infections. There have been 61 confirmed cases in total in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Illinois, in which 18 people were confirmed dead in Wisconsin, 1 in Michigan, and 1 in Illinois. Doctors are actively investigating the origin of the infection and the cause of the multi-state outbreak.
Experts warn about the spread of the Powassan virus. Health experts are warning about the potential increase in the spread of a disease called the Powassan virus this summer. Warmer winters have reportedly increased the population of ticks, which spread the disease. The Powassan virus is a potentially life-threatening virus transmitted by ticks, including the deer tick. The virus can infect everyone, including children, teenagers, middle-aged people, and the elderly. Although most people will not develop symptoms, the virus kills about 15% of those who do. Meanwhile, some 50% of survivors will suffer long-term neurological damage. Others will experience symptoms similar to those of the flu, including fevers and headaches. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, there are no vaccines to prevent transmission of the virus or medications to cure it.